Oh yeah.
Playing air
Oh
drums
yeah.
to that
Oh
intro.
yeah. What's that? I know,
Playing
like.
air drums to that intro.
Oh, well,
Uh,
we're back. It's just
Here we are.
us. It was just us in the beginning. Now it's just us in the beginning again. But it's Phil and Oscar. Focus on you with Phil. I'm Phil. That's Oscar over there.
Fix that song.
And we
Get out
are
of
the
my.
Bobbsey twins. Remember that? Bobbsey twins?
No, I've heard of them, but I never actually saw them.
Yeah,
I'm
me
not
neither.
that.
I've heard of them. Yeah, I'm not that old.
I'll be
But anyway,
significantly older tomorrow.
much more older tomorrow. Well, happy birthday
Thank
beforehand.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, and you always be my Santa Claus. Okay, always
Thank
be
you.
Santa Claus.
That's why I
There
grow the
you go.
beard back just to make sure you recognize me.
Absolutely. I wouldn't recognize you otherwise. But we got a great program ahead of us. We have none other than our own Miss Kim DiGiacamo
The money
on the
multiplier.
line. The money multiplier. Literally, I mean, I think she will just multiply your money just because she looks at it. She might just look at it and multiply it, But yeah, she's going to give us some great tips today, and I'm very excited about that. I love to hear how I can multiply my money. Addition and subtraction are just not enough, right? Multiplication, definitely something we want to do. But before we go into that, my good friend Oscar here, he's going to talk to you about some things you need to know, like must know. All right, so he's going to go into that.
There's
Go
some
ahead, Oscar.
must-haves as an adult. As an adult, one of the things you're going to need is access to a law firm, making sure that every document you sign is looked over by your law firm. It's written by a lawyer, just not our lawyer. So the ability to have a law firm look over your contracts, look over anything, a note that says your kid's going on a trip, make sure the lawyer looks at that note. That's what we offer through. I'm an associate with Legal Shield and ID Shield. So what we do is we put a law firm in the palm of your hand. You have a legal question, set up an appointment, talk to a law firm, talk to a lawyer that specializes in that type of law. So you get really, really good legal advice. You don't want to go to Google. You don't want to go to any search engine and look for laws. Look for legal advice that might not be relevant to the state you're living, because every state has laws that are a little bit different. You want your will set up? There's a button right there. Start your will. Will, living will, healthcare power of attorney. I don't want to even tell you how much that's going to cost if you do it on your own. It's in the thousands of dollars. And you save that by a simple dollar a day app that we have made available to everyone in the US and in Canada. And part of what we do also is ID Shield, which is the only service that we know that has licensed investigators to do the heavy lifting, to do the restorations. Otherwise, it is years and thousands of dollars out of pocket trying to get your identity restored to what you had before the incident happened. And as I've said over and over, and I do it in my workshops, we've had 30 something billion records stolen in the past couple of years. So everyone's information is out there. It's for sale. When you find out about it too late, then trying to get back to normal is a nightmare. And I have several people that have talked to me saying, my identity's been hacked. There's someone working in another state and my social security number. What do I do? Had you had the service, we get the legal people in there. We get the investigators going right away. If you don't have it, you have to start from scratch, and it's money out of your pocket. So great peace of mind. If you have kids in college, also, having that lawyer in their pocket. I know I needed it when I was in college. Um, that is available. The other thing that we do is we donate. That's why I'm wearing my shirt today. I am one of the New York ambassadors for Operation Underground Railroad, which is a nonprofit solely set up to rescue kids from trafficking. That's work trafficking, sex trafficking, all the trafficking that's going on. We have 85,000 or 850,000 kids right now that they have no idea where they are after they came over the border unaccompanied. So, no, the cartels have them, and we need to break it up. So, we need everyone to look out to see what's going on. and learn what to look for on the crawler under there, ourrescue.org. A lot of information on that site and some movies also to really show you how to protect your kids here in the US as well as kids around the world. Mr. Phil, back to you.
Wow. Okay. Great stuff. Great stuff. Thank you, Mr. Capel, because you're just awesome like that. You know,
Hey, that's what we do. We're here to help
that's what
people.
we do. Absolutely. All the way. All right. So now we got our favorite person that's about to come on.
Me.
How do you define Miss Kim DiGiacamo? What would you say?
She is a hidden gem. Um, I've used the Impact Health, that one of the products that she has, and literally saved me about $400 a month in my medical insurance. Cut it down by half. And the incredible thing is that's just one wheel in that spoke
One.
of the wheel that she has. Now take that money, and we'll let her talk about it. How to take that little money,
Absolutely.
these little extra monies that you get by saving here and there, and put it into something that really grows and compounds.
I think she does some sort of debt elimination as well as some other things too. I mean, if this was going into some sort of financial warfare, she would be fully armed.
I'm camping out in front of her house.
I'm camping out in front of her house. So, because she's got so much information. So, without any further ado, we're going to bring on our good friend, Mr. Giacomo.
Hi guys, happy to be back. Woo. Love
Can you
being
tell?
here. I love the love you guys give me. I love it.
Hey, we don't lie. I mean, if you were like a
I
crappy
know.
guest, we're like, oh man, we got this crappy guest coming on, but like we don't have enough
Yeah,
time to go into like
we
half of it.
really didn't want to invite her, but
Yeah, you got to make it
eh,
fair. You got to invite everybody, like them or not. It is the way it is. That's how
no,
it
no,
goes.
we like you, we love you. You are like you family. You're not like family. You is family.
That's right. Family, family. I
That's
love it.
it.
And
So
Ricky, our
Kim,
stepchild.
listen, we're on Instagram as well. So
Oh,
anybody
cool.
you watching on Instagram, we want your comments. Questions, comments for Kim. Share with your friends.
Mhm.
Share with your loved ones. You're on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Do I need
Anything
to
that
go
starts
on
with a
out
T.
there? Yeah, X something X Twitter. Yeah, man. Listen, share with your friends because you want to hear what she has to say. So, Kim, introduce yourself a little bit for us.
So, my name is Kim DiGiacamo. My company is KMD Associates, and I am known, as you can see from behind me, I am the money multiplier. So, we take those inefficient dollars that you're spending and throwing away every month and put it to work for you. So, what does that mean? There's many different options to be able to do that. We can definitely go into some of those and give you some ideas of what you can do and how we can achieve what we call financial freedom, right? And get away from debt and, things that are burdening us and keeping us down and stopping us from living the life we want to live. So, why I started this business was to help people. I was in a situation where I had to start over again and kind of reinvent myself. And I wanted to hopefully have someone like me to help them through a difficult situation and getting back on their feet and preparing for the future. So, just from my past experiences, I think the way my company was born and why Money Multiplier came about was to help people, you know, think about their future and grow their retirement and realize and understand what they actually have and what direction they should be going in. So that's, kind of a little bit about what our company does. And like Oscar and Phil said, I do a multitude of different things in many different avenues, but they all focus around protecting yourself from life in general. So that's really, and our futures and preparing for our retirement. That's the most important thing here, that we all need to understand is that, you need to be aware of what it's gonna look like, what your future is gonna look like. We can all live for today, but we also have to keep in the back of our mind what the future holds. So, I can show you guys lots of different strategies to help prepare for that. So that's kind of like, and I don't know about you guys, but I, for one, hate overpaying for things. I hate it. I hate paying taxes and I hate overpaying for things. So if I can find different ways to avoid either one of those, it's a good day for me.
Yep. Awesome. That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You know what, Kim? What are some of the biggest things people struggle with as far as getting out of debt and getting to the place where they can invest or even think of doing, even just
Mm-hmm.
planning a vacation? I mean,
Yeah.
there's some people that haven't taken a vacation in 20 years.
I think what it comes down to, and this is the key here, is just careful money management, right? It's being conscious of where your money's going to, right? It's being aware of what you're spending your money on, right? I can give you an example. I had one of my clients that told me he spends over $200 a month just at Starbucks, right? $200 a month. I was like, what? I'm like,
Isn't
do
that
you know what I could do? What?
isn't that the price of a Starbucks stock?
It's,
You
yeah.
can
I'm
buy
like,
stock with
do you
that.
know what I could do with $200 a month just in that giving up? Or let's just say you gave up half of that, $100, right? If you desperately need Starbucks coffee, that money could be working for you instead of you giving it to the coffee place. Make your own coffee, do whatever it is that, I used to go, I'm not a Starbucks person. So I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts very rarely and I'll spend $2 on a cup of coffee. I don't get the specialty coffees with all this stuff in it. But even then I'm like, I could have made this coffee myself. What do I need to pay somebody for to give me a cup of coffee when I know that money can be doing better served someplace else? But when I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness. Like, why? But also it also comes down to, so many people nowadays. I think one of the biggest issues is that because the cost of everything has gone up so dramatically that people are living on credit cards. People are using credit cards more often than and not, and they're finding themselves on this hamster wheel of high interest rates, and they're paying minimums or paying a little bit above, and it's going to take them forever to get out of it because the minute they pay something, the next minute they're putting more on it. So you're constantly going in a circle and you're never getting anywhere. So it's, that's one of the biggest issues that I see is that debt. It's getting worse now because people use credit cards like a way of life, and it really isn't, right? It's just having a different mindset.
Somebody asked a question that really was like eye-opening. Where is your money going? Is it going to build lifestyle or is it going to service debt? And if it's servicing debt, somebody said that every dollar is like an employee in your business.
Yep.
You're either putting it to work or you fire them. And if you fire them, you'll never see them again. If you put them to work, they'll turn around for you. And just as an example, I just opened up this today. We just got flooring done, and it was $2,700. We're doing a 12-month no interest, but right here it says if we screw up and we don't pay the $2,700 on time with interest, it is 4,679.
Yep.
It's almost double.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'd rather have that money in my pocket. Actually, not even in my pocket, in an account that you're helping me with to make that money make money. I mean,
Correct.
I
Absolutely.
I have to full disclosure. I am using the health impact health. You got me off of the Optimum. I'm saving a bunch of money without Optimum. And my internet service is faster and cheaper than I had before. And it's just like how many services that you have that I'm using and just not paying the money that they want me to pay for, so they can get rich and happy. It's
Absolutely.
again the amount of money that, and watching financial people talk about compound interest, and how that money works. Um, and one more thing, somebody said, you're going to retire, let's say at 65, you're going to live 20 years. You and your
Mhm.
partner want to eat 3 times a day at $7 each. It's $300,000,
Yep.
$307,000 to eat 3 times a day. And you're saying, yeah, people need
Mhm.
to retire. But if you don't see where you're going to end up and you don't have a roadmap to get there, it's going to be hard times when you get there.
Mhm.
You're going to run out of money before you run out of life.
Yep. No, it's so true. I mean, you really have to be conscious of what you're doing with your money. And just like you said, Oscar, there's so many ways that you can, kind of fall into these pitfalls of, I'll just take, for instance, like the flooring thing. So many people say, okay, great, I have zero interest for a year. And then they don't pay it off at the end of the day and they go back to where they started. And now they owe double, right? So you have to make sure you plan that out so that when that 12 months is up, that bill's paid. Otherwise you're you're no better off than when you started. So yes, it's a great opportunity that you got to have zero interest. Take advantage of it. Yes, absolutely. But so many people are taking out those loans and credit cards and all these things with the interest rates are going higher and higher. Now they're over 30%.
Yeah, well,
You're
this is a
paying.
low 28 point. That's like
Ooh.
that's loan shark amount of money.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
30
It's.
cents of every dollar is going to pay
Mhm,
interest. Like, no.
mhm. Yeah, it's very, and people fall into those pitfalls. I can't tell you how many people that I've talked to that have 30, 40, $50,000 of just credit card debt alone. Just credit card debt alone. No loan, no, they have no retirement, no life insurance, no nothing. They're not prepared for anything. And people just, so many people just live for the moment. They don't really contemplate or understand, where am I going to go from here? So there's just like health insurance. Let's take that for example. The health insurance industry is broken in this country. It's literally every day getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, I have clients paying over $2,000 a month for their health insurance. And not only are they paying $2,000 a month, but they have a high deductible, high out of pocket expenses. So unless they have some type of illness, they're not even using it. Right? They're using it to go for a checkup. And for that amount of money, they could have paid to go get their checkup and their blood work and their test done and still been ahead of the game. So, with some of the products that we have, like Impact Health, like you said, you save 50% on your health insurance, right? Now you have $400 extra a month. What are you going to do
Right.
with that, right? We're going to put that to work for you. We're going to say, Oscar, take this money, put it into whatever products we have or whatever strategy we utilize, and let's start making that money grow, right? Put a little bit aside, maybe into, an HSA like that we have that we offer, that you can set a little bit of money aside every month in case you do have some kind of a circumstance where you need money to pay for medical expenses or whatever. Now you have money in an account, but you know what? The best part about it is that you have control of your money. Your money didn't go to that insurance company, like you said, to make them rich, or a credit card company to make them rich. We have to teach people how to be their own banker, right? How to be their own financial person, right? So that's another strategy that I try to share with people too, is infinite banking. How do you become your own banker? So for instance, if you needed your floor done, you could have went right to that, your own personal bank, taking that money out without having a loan from that credit card or whatever you took out, and you would have been fine, right? You would have had the money readily available. Now, as you're taking money out, your money's still growing. You're not taking a credit card out, right? And accumulating interest. Your money's growing while you're using the money. What better
Yeah,
what better way of doing that than, you know, going in that
yeah.
direction?
The and that I've read. And had I set up my account, I do have an account that I could do that, but I'm not really going to be building enough equity there for the next couple of years. I
Mhm.
just switched over to a better type of insurance account that allows me to accumulate money.
Mhm.
And I call it life insurance for life, not death
Yep.
insurance. So it's I was going to say that the using that infinite banking, using that is not something new. And the two ways that I heard is the Rockefeller family and the Vanderbilt family, two of the
Mhm.
richest families when the U.S. was hit its stride in manufacturing. And the Rockefeller family, as soon as a kid is born, they open up a life insurance um,
Yep.
for the kid, fund that, completely fund it. And whenever that kid needs money, boom, there's money in there that they
That's
don't
right.
need to go to a bank for. They go to themselves.
Mhm.
The Vanderbilt
Yep.
family didn't do that, and their descendants are still working
Yep.
because they don't have that money backed up.
Correct. And I mean, and that's what I teach in my, when I educate people about finances and things like that, is that you have to have a rich mindset, not a poor mindset. Right. So when you have a poor mindset, you're getting credit cards. You don't think outside the box. You don't take risk. You don't look at other ways of making money. You need to learn how to make money while you're sleeping. Right. So having taken out a life insurance policies is setting somebody up for a future that they don't have to go and use credit cards or take out loans or, do anything like that, where they have money available to them that they don't have to go and put themselves in debt. Debt is the leading cause of people having to declare bankruptcy, not having money, having bill collectors coming after them. It's not a way to plan, to live your life. It really is. It truly isn't. And life insurance, and now that you brought that up, people think of life insurance as like a death benefit, but it does so many more things for you now. It helps. We use it to get out of debt. So we can get people out of debt while you build wealth at the same time, instead of just throwing money to a credit card company and not having anything in return. At least the way we do it, we teach you how to build that wealth at the same time. That's a no-brainer. Right? It's about just finding different ways, creative ways to be smart about what you're doing with your money. I mean, we all work hard for our money, right? So we all want to keep as much as it in our pocket as we can. And, life insurance is a great vehicle. So many people have this vision that life insurance is just about a death benefit, but we use it for debt elimination. We use it for college planning. If you're, instead of using a 529 where you're locked in to using it for college, if you put it into a life insurance plan, you can use it for whatever you want, right? You're not, if that child decides they don't want to go to college, now they have money in there. Maybe they want to invest in a house or, get married, whatever the situation is, they can use that money for whatever. They're not locked into using it for education. So
Yeah,
that's what, yep.
the one thing that people, and I talked, that's funny because I just remembered that I talked about the Rockefeller.
Mhm.
There's two ways you said there's financial education and financial ignorance, where the
Mhm.
Rockefeller family did two things. One, they have insurance policies for their kids, and second, they help fund the school system that is to show people just how to become an employee. So
Mhm.
on their side, they get all the advantages. On our
Yeah.
side, they get all the advantages because they teach everyone how to be an employee. So it's like, wait, there's information out there that we have not been given.
Yep.
When I lost my job years ago, I started reading Kiyosaki and all the other people that were showing everybody how the rich get rich and how the poor keep getting poorer. And I'm like,
Mhm.
this isn't hard. It's just nobody ever told me this.
That's right.
So, you becoming a money multiplier, you're a financial educator first,
Mhm.
and
Exactly.
then people love you because like, oh my, I have money left over after the month now. Thank you,
Mhm.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part too, is, so many people are living paycheck to paycheck, and sometimes it's not even making it at the end of the month. But just making small changes and having a different mindset, it can really turn that around. And now that you have a little extra money, you can start actually making it work for you, making it and accumulate wealth, as opposed to just, doing nothing for you. And then every day, every month, you're worrying about where that money's going to come from. So it's really about a mindset. And I do this exercise with all my clients, and this is what I tell them to do. And this is something everybody can do. It's very simple. You take a pad, right? You put it in your car, and every day that you spend money, you write it down on that piece of paper. Right. And then put all your expenses, every month, what you have to pay out. Right. And then you put that all together, and then you can figure out, okay, well, I need $4,000 a month just to pay my bills, my mortgage, my rent, whatever that may be. But I'm spending, another $3,000 a month just on things that are not a necessity, maybe, or, whatever that situation is. But you're not conscious of it because you're not paying attention to it. You're not paying attention because you spend $5 here, $10 here. It adds up at the end of the day. Just like I told you, that person that spent $200 at Starbucks. You don't really think about it till you actually sit down and say, oh my gosh, I just spent all this money just on coffee alone. Right. So being aware of where your money's going is key to anything, right? It's about being why I stress education so much and what I do is because unless, like you said, if you know what's available out there, it's easier to make decisions. So when I'm making and I'm educating people and I'm telling people about all these programs, they're like, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was out there. I didn't know I could do that. And, it's just because they're not educated. People are so trained for, traditional methods. Like you put your money in the bank, you're getting zero, less than 1%. Why would you do that? You're spending credit cards. You're putting money in a 401k. Do all these things that you were taught growing up that's the thing to do. But times have changed. Things have changed. And your mindset has to change as to which direction you should be going. And there's so many opportunities out there, excuse me, to be able to really increase your wealth. You just have to know where to look. And that's where we come in. So, over the time that I've, become the money multiplier, I have found through networking and through, research and all these things of different strategies and programs that we can use that before people, necessarily would never know where to look for. Right. But because I've, been in this space and I've been doing it for a while now that, I've found so many different ways to, change those outlooks at the end of the month. And, just like you said, Oscar, it's just small changes like your optimum bill, your cell phone, your cable, your, any of those things could give you $200-300 a month without even much effort, right? So, it's just about taking that time to sit down and hashing everything out and really taking a good hard look at what, and you should be doing this you should be doing this at least once a year, right? Of going over your finances and seeing what's going on and just being conscious of what you have.
Yeah, it's amazing the amount of money that, like you said, it leaks out little by little. You don't realize it. It's like, oh, it's
That's right.
I got a cup of coffee here. I grabbed a bagel. Oh yeah, let's buy this magazine because it's sitting on the
Yeah.
stand on the way
Yeah.
out of the supermarket. And
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden you're like, where'd all the money go? And every time we do taxes, it's like, wait a minute, we made how much this year?
Yeah.
Where is
Yeah.
it? Where'd it go? And you start going, oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. And then it's gone. And like you were saying about things change, insurance has changed
Yeah.
incredibly. Start out with term, which is death insurance. Then you
Mm-hmm.
go to your regular whole life. Then you have universal life. Then you have indexed universal life. You have annuities. You have all of these money vehicles that if they're used properly, you're looking at a nice nest egg. But
Yep.
again, you have to start early. As soon as you have a
Mm-hmm.
kid, make sure you get a life insurance policy for that kid, not because you're guaranteeing they're not going to die. You're just guaranteeing that they will have a fund of money that they can use, and they won't need a loan.
That's right. Exactly. I mean, I wish at the time that when my kids were born, that I knew what I knew now, right? Because I got them this silly Gerber policy that, was really not a good plan. And when they were ready to go to school, I had like $7,000, right? So if I would have done it the way I do it now, I wouldn't even have to pay for college, right? They would have had plenty of money to be able to, get them through where they had to do without a student loan or without, so it's just about, a lot of times, like you said, it's just about starting early. So now my kids each have a great life insurance plan that I started for them. They're building, cash value so that when the time comes and they need that money, they're going to have it. Right. And I started it early. So now they have a life insurance that they can have for the rest of their life. Right.
At
And
a really
grandparents
low
can
rate.
do this. Anybody. It's
Yeah,
well,
at a low rate, because people don't
right,
understand that every year that you wait to get a policy, it's going to cost
more
more
money.
because you're going to live
Correct.
less. So the younger you get it, the less it is, and then you can lock it in at that price.
Exactly.
And it's really not
Exactly.
all the stuff that I've learned now that I should have learned, earlier. But true thing happened when I was 18 years old. I got my first job. Right next door, there was an insurance guy, And he said, "Yeah, you should get an insurance policy." I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
18. And he's like, "No, we're getting you an insurance policy." And we
Uh,
got it. And I was building money. And then I needed a car and I took all the money out. And
mhm.
I did the calculations. I would have had over $2 million in that account
Yep.
had I kept it up.
Mhm. Yep. It's
You
the
know,
truth. Yep.
before we go on, I want to give a big shout out to those who are watching us on Instagram. Kudos to you, Mr. Jamaican DJ King, Matt Nielsen, and Miss Whitney Cobran. Big shout out.
Mm. Yay.
Got any questions? Yeah,
Yay.
put questions in the chat. We will be able to answer those questions, or not we, but we'll throw it all on Kim's lap.
I'll take it on. No worries. I think I can handle it. I'm good. I think we're good.
So
Um,
Kim, you know the big thing is that money is you hear so many things online, which is why
mhm.
we came together for the PNN
Right.
platform, right? There's so much information out there, and I think people feel kind of nervous
Yep.
when people are asking them to invest in this or
Mhm.
do that. Um, what's what kind of security is there in some of the investments that you do and some of the packages that you have?
So I mean, there's always those, very traditional, very safe, like life insurance, annuities, IRAs, things like that. Those are very safe vehicles. When you're talking about, you know, you can go on the internet and you can find all these things. You can make money doing this. You can make money doing that. Oh, you can do this. And, you have to be very careful about those things because, especially now, there's so many people out there trying to scam people, trying to, invest in this or invest in that. And then it turns out to not be. But you have to have someone who really has a handle on what's going on there, can really guide you in the right direction. That's why, what we do is so important is because we know where that money is going to be the safest, where if you want to be aggressive, where we're going to put it. If you're going to be conservative, where you're going to do it. you know got to be so careful about those pitfalls, about these get rich quick schemes, or you can invest and you can get this and you can do that. And you know nowadays so many people lose money because they fall into something blindly and they don't understand what it's really about. So you have to talk to someone, like myself, who really has a handle on what's going on out there and where the safest place is to put your money. I'm not a huge proponent of a 401k, of the stock market, because I don't have the stomach for the losses. It's kind of like that up and down roller coaster. You like, oh my gosh, I just made 50,000. Oh, I just lost 70. Oh, I made 40. Oh, I just lost 30. So it's, yes, you can make a lot of money if you know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing when it comes to that. It's not something that you can just, be somebody off the street that decide, okay, I'm gonna invest my $20,000 today. I'm gonna put it here and not have any kind of education or any understanding of how it all works. So you do have to really, really be very conscious of what's out there and what you're looking at. And honestly, there's no get rich quick scheme, because if there was, everybody would be doing it. So you really have to, when you have something that takes, anything good is going to take a while, right? Anything good is going to take time to accumulate, but you know what? It will eventually, as long as you do it the right way. So that's the only thing I can really offer and say, is that you just have to be careful about, believing people when, there's no basis behind it either.
Truth. That's
Mhm.
definitely
Mhm.
true, and that's where
Yeah.
Oscar, even where what Oscar does come into play, because there's so much misinformation, so many death traps when it comes to online.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
see this big thing pop up. You can make $1 million in 6 months. Just
Uh-huh.
sign up for my program where I made $3.5 million in 3 weeks.
Yep. Yep. And
You
there's
know,
plenty of those. So
yes.
yeah, it's sad. And people, because people are so desperate nowadays that that's why these predators or these people are putting these things out, because people just blindly go because they just feel like they have no other choice. But talking to someone like myself, you really get a great understanding of what's out there and where you should be going. Just stop looking for these, get rich quick. It's just you have to be patient. It's all about patience, and it's all about really being smart about what you're doing with your money. I mean, that's really the bottom line. So you work hard for it. You don't want to just throw it away to somebody who's going to take it from you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In our closing statement, um, for the person, that is looking for somewhere to invest their tax returns, because we know that now everybody's filing now, and right about between March and April, tax returns are
Mm-hmm.
coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what's the first thing that they should think about once they
Call
get
me.
that check?
Call me. Call me. That's the first thing they should think about. That's the first and foremost. Yeah, I mean, the first thing they should do is not say, "Oh my gosh, I got money, I'm going to go spend it." That's what most people, when they get their tax return money, it's already spent before they even get it. So, really, when you get that check, you think about, really sit back and think about what you can do with that money, right? And think about the opportunities and the things that are out there that'll help grow that money. Because if you just get it and spend it, what good is that? Right? It's
Hmm.
it's no good. So it's no point. It's just, really, it's so funny because whenever I talk to someone, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy this because I've been wanting to buy this, and oh, I think I'm gonna go on this vacation, or I'm gonna, and they don't really, that's found money, right? That's money that now you got in your hands. Be smart about it, right? Reach out to someone like myself that can really guide you in the right direction and give you some options and educate you as to what's the best way to really, make that money grow, multiply, as I say.
Nice. Well,
Mhm.
that's awesome, Kim. Thank you so
Yeah,
much
you're
for
welcome.
sharing. Thank you so much for what you contribute to PNN.
Yes.
You are like, oh my, every time you talk is almost like I have to take a pen, write stuff down, because you have so much information. So thank you so
Yes.
much. Oscar, kudos to you, my friend. As we sign off here at Focus
Mm.
on You, we will see you again next week. Take care, and much love to y'all.
Bye.